Hi, I'm Sarah Robb and today I'm here at the Noosa Ultra Trail Women in Sports Luncheon with Kellie Emmerson. Kellie, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now Kellie, you have got a long list of achievements and I must say I will read them because it's hard to put to memory, this long list. So you've been a 4-time Australian representative in ultra trail running. You've had 3 wins at the Surf Coast Century 100 kilometres, 1 win at Ultra Trail Australia, top 5 placings at a number of international events. You're an incredible runner. On top of that, you've got a PhD, you're a business owner, a mum, an endurance coach. Is there anything that stands out for you as one of your favourite achievements?
It's probably becoming a mum. It's probably the best one.
And I must say congratulations.
Thank you.
You are due when?
In July.
July, baby, exciting.
Yeah.
Being pregnant, you're still competing in an event. What distance are you doing?
I'm going to do the 15K.
15 kilometres. My husband's doing that one too.
Love.
Be interesting, you might see him on the track. He'll love being passed by a pregnant woman.
People will really hate that.
I love that. So tell us a little bit about running in pregnancy.
Yeah, so I guess now there's overwhelming evidence that exercising during pregnancy has a lot of benefits. I think there's still a lot of interesting social takes on running during pregnancy. And just the other day, I had a few a man come across and tell me off.
Wow. Old school thinking.
Very old school thinking. That's not the case anymore. It's really important to stay fit and healthy. And for someone like me who, my body is trained to do this, obviously I'm not going to be running the 100-kilometre race tomorrow, but there's no reason why I can't participate in one of the shorter events.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Brilliant. Love that. So what do you love most about trail running? Why do you do it?
Yeah, I guess it's a sense of exploration and, it's taken me to some amazing places around the world. The community is just so welcoming and fun and happy and, it's just, I guess the sense of being able to accomplish things that a very minute part of community can actually achieve is pretty special. Finding yourself on the top of a mountain that that there's very few people will ever get there.
You would see so many incredible landscapes. You haven't done the Noosa Ultra Trail yet because this is the inaugural event.
Yeah.
So out of the ones that you have done, what's been your favourite trail so far?
Oh, there's very many to list, but look, I think UTMB is sort of the pinnacle for atmosphere. In Australia you might get 100 to 200 people doing a 100-mile race. Over there you've got 2,500 with many more thousand trying to get in. And so many spectators, and it's really, really exciting. It's a really huge sport over there. So from an atmosphere perspective, that one, and from a scenery perspective, I reckon probably the Madeira Island Ultra Trail, so Mute it's called. It's a really cool little island off the coast of Portugal, and it's kind of like Jurassic Park. It's very cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, for those who aren't aware, UTMB is Ultra Trail Mont Blanc,
Yes.
and this Noosa Ultra Trail is now a qualifying event for that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah, UTMB taking over the world, so to become part of that is pretty exciting. And as I said, for people to have more events to qualify in order to get there is really good. That's been quite limited in the past for Australian athletes.
It's a great thing. And so what sparked your interest in trail running?
Yeah, I guess I started running fairly late, probably not till my early 20s. And I started out with a normal progression from doing Run for the Kids, and then which is about 14K. And then I figured if I could do 14K, I could probably do a half marathon, and it sort of grew from there. And I joined a running group in the lead up to one of those road runs, and they ended up convincing me to do Oxfam Trail Walker with them. And so that was my first sort of insight into trail running, and did a couple of local events and figured out that it came pretty naturally to me and I really enjoyed it. So started competing a bit more and started going a bit further, and just liked the challenge. And
I'm just blown away that 100 kilometres is what the ultra trail is. You mentioned last night at the launch that you will hit a wall, athletes will hit a wall in that race. What do you do to push through that wall?
Yeah, I guess there's a few things. It's knowing knowing that finish line feeling and knowing that once you cross that line, you'll forget all of the pain. When you hit a low point, you just have to keep moving. So, have a few mantras, relentless forward motion, just keep moving. Try and have some sugar. That'll help trick your brain into making you feel a bit better. And just remember that you chose to be there. Don't forget that no one's forcing you to do it. You chose to be there and you want to be there.
And you're a Melbourne girl, so what's the connection with Noosa and the Noosa hinterland and the Sunshine Coast in general?
Yeah, so my husband grew up on the sunny coast, and we've been trying to get up here through COVID about 6 times, and it's very nice to finally be here. I love the climate up here and I love any excuse to get up here, so it's been very nice.
Yeah, we're huge advocates for the Noosa hinterland. That's where I'm from, and you'll see so many of the great trails. You're in for a real treat. And I just love the story of how you and your husband met. You both met in the trail circuit.
Yeah, so we met at UTA 100, so in the Blue Mountains. Yes.
And you've got little Atticus now. Now, I get asked a lot because of wearing many hats, and I'm sure you would get asked the same. And it'd be great to share, how do you balance all of that? Being the mum, being the wife, being the business person, all of the hats that you wear. Any insight into how you balance that?
Yeah, look, it's challenging, but I guess, and it's just about being organised. So sometimes I think we're more productive when we're busy because you just have to make things work. But I think it's been really important for our life balance too, just to have lots of work and play and be able to combine all of that.
I love that. If you want something done, ask a busy person to do it.
Exactly.
So true, so
it's
true.
Very true.
Now, how many pairs of shoes do you go through a year?
You don't want to look in my wardrobe.
I'm loving your shoes today.
I'm very lucky that I'm supported by her car, that's for sure. And I've got lots of different shoes for different purposes, I guess.
Your journey has been quite an inspirational one. Like we say, you wear so many hats. Who inspires you?
Look, I guess my family now. It's trying to be a good role model for them and for the wider community. I'm not one to really aspire to looking at one, sort of elite sports person, but I think, just trying to be a good role model for my family.
So these are long distances. On a logistical level, how do you go to the loo during the race? Do you stop?
When you gotta go, you just gotta go.
So you do have loo stops through?
Oh, sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it depends how much you're eating and drinking, but it happens to the best of us. Sometimes you just gotta go. So, as my husband would say, any tree is a lavatory.
I love that. That's awesome. Now, we're about to go into the Women in Sport luncheon. Talking food, what are your hot tips for leading up to an event and foods to eat? What's your procedure that you do?
Yep. So I like food. I eat a lot, but probably leading up to a race, I tend to go low FODMAP. So probably sticking with things that are lower in fibre, rice, things that are going to digest easy and I know that aren't going to upset me on the day.
Yep, great tip. Kellie, thanks for joining us today. That's been very insightful.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Make sure you check out the Noosa Ultra Trail. It'll be a great event, and if you don't catch the event, be sure to check out the Noosa Trail Network.